Hello, grade 7 students. In this video, we're going to talk about the semester 1 exam review worksheet solution. Topics covered they are chapter 1 activity 3 digestion, pages 23 to 29 in the ISI booklet. And also chapter 2 respiration, pages 30 to 36. And also you have to review the worksheets and the notes on your phone. Let's start with the question number 1. They say indicate the true statement or statements and correct the false one or ones. If it's true, simply you can say true. If it's false, you have to say false and you have to correct it in complete answer. During inhalation, the volume of the thoracic cage increases. This is true. During exhalation, the operculum of the fish they are closed. This is false. During exhalation, the operculum of the fish they are open. The salivary glands they secrete saliva where? In the small intestine. No, false. The salivary gland they secrete saliva where? In the mouth. Okay? Why? Inhaled air is poor in oxygen? No. The inhaled air false. It's going to be the inhaled air is rich in oxygen. This is the first question. So pay attention, true or false. If it's true, you have to say true. If it's false, false and corrected and complete answer. Question number 2. The two parts A and B, they are independent. What the meaning of independent? They are not related. Part A. Copy and complete the tables below. You have to know that nothing is going to be written on the exam sheet. All is going to be on the answer sheet. So what is the name of the gland that secretes pancreatic juice? The pancreas. What is the site of the secretion in the small intestine? What is the name of the gland that is found in the level of the stomach and secreted juice at the level of the stomach? Sure, it's the gastric gland and the gastric juice. Liver it secretes bile in the small intestine. This table is showing about the types of mechanical actions. So first we have mouth, we have chewing, stomach, we have churning, small intestine, we have peristaltic movement. Part B, in order to know which type of food, meat or bread, can be chemically digested by saliva, the following experiment is conducted at 37 degrees Celsius. So in order to know which type of food, meat or bread, can be chemically digested by saliva, so this is the aim. So this is called the purpose or the objective of the experiment. Why do we do this experiment? We do this experiment, this is the aim. The aim of this experiment is to know which type of food, meat or bread, can be chemically digested by saliva. Here we have two tubes A and B. Both of them they have saliva. One of them contains large piece of meat, and the second contains large piece of bread. So if I asked you what is the variable factor, meaning that what is the difference between the two tubes? Tube A contains bread, while tube B contains meat. So the type of food. Duration is 15 minutes and the temperature is 37. So after 15 minutes, tube A becomes clear. So the piece of bread is digested, while tube B, the piece of meat, remains the same. So they ask you, name the digestive gland that secretes saliva. What do we call it? It's called salivary gland. Arrange in the table the conditions and the result of the experiment. This table should be drawn using a pencil, given a title, and if you have used a legend. For this table, you have to put the conditions and the cube and cut the box here into two cubes A and B. What are the conditions? We have large piece of bread, large piece of meat, saliva, temperature, duration, and result. All of them should be written complete. Temperature, you are not going to write it and you are not allowed to write it as temp. Temperature, full sentence, full word. So large piece of bread is present in tube A and not in B, while large piece of meat is not present in tube A. So plus it means presence, minus it means absence. Saliva is present in both tubes. Temperature 37 for both. 15 minutes the duration. Result, the bread disappears while the meat remains the same. This is the table and we have to give it the title. From where do I get the title? I get it from here. Arrange a table, the condition and the result. So you have to say table showing the conditions and the result of experiment in tubes A and B. Legend, plus means presence and minus means absence. Now let's move to the interpret. What is interpret? It's analyze plus indication. So after adding saliva to tube A containing large piece of bread and to tube B containing large piece of meat, both of them they are at 37 for 15 minutes, comma, the large piece of bread disappears in tube A, meaning that it is digested, and the large piece of meat remains the same in tube B. What does this indicate? This indicates that digestion occurs in tube A and not in tube B. So what can you conclude here? You can conclude that saliva it works on the digestion of bread and not on the digestion of meat. Suppose in this experiment we replace the large piece of bread with the small pieces. Do we still need 15 minutes? Sure no. Why? Because digestion of small pieces is faster than that of the large pieces. Question number 3. We place a green aquatic plant in a large chassis tube filled with water and another tube containing only water. So the two sets of tube they are placed in dark place. Why in dark? Because to make the medium like the one in during night. So in darkness. So we connect an oximeter. The function of the oximeter is to measure the level of oxygen gas. We start recording the result shown by the oximeter in water every 1 minute. And the results are shown in the table below. Here are the times 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amount of oxygen for the aquatic plant in millimeter cube 17, 16, 14, 12, 10, 9. As you see here, it's decreasing. While in the control that is used to compare and explain the results, the control one is used to compare and explain the results. So here I'm using the control to compare the results with that containing the aquatic. The level of oxygen remains 17 constant. Draw the curve that shows the variation of the amount of oxygen gas as the function of time in both tubes. Title, I can get it from the question. Graph showing the variation of the amount of oxygen gas. I have to put the unit in millimeter cube as a function of time in minutes. And scale, either you can write it here like this, on x-axis 1 centimeter gives 2 minutes, or on y-axis, for example, 1 centimeter gives 2 millimeter cube. You can use the scale that you want. This is the graph. Graph should be drawn using a pencil, should be drawn given a title. So if you use a legend, you have to give it a legend, and the graph should be drawn using a pencil, and you have to respect the scale. Analyze the obtained result. So at time 0, the amount of oxygen gas in both tubes, here they want analysis for both tubes, was 17 millimeter cube at the both tubes. As time increases from 0 to 7, the amount of oxygen gas in the aquatic plant decreases from 17 to 6 millimeter cube, while in the control it remains the same and constant at 17 millimeter cube. What can we conclude? We can conclude that the plant is consuming oxygen. What is the role of the oximeter? It's used to measure the amount of oxygen gas in the tube. Why did we place the plant in darkness? Because the medium looked like one during the night. Question number 4. We know that the process of digestion consists of two processes, chemical and mechanical. So in order to understand the relation between these processes, so understand the relation, we did this experiment. So the aim is to understand the relation between the mechanical and chemical digestion. So we have this experiment. Beginning, we have the large piece of meat, and here we have minced meat, or they are small pieces. Both of them, they contain gastric juice. So after 1 hour, the large piece becomes smaller, while the small pieces, they disappear in tube 2. What's the difference between chemical and mechanical? This one you have to study. Mechanical breaks down food into smaller pieces, while chemical, it uses the digestive juice to digest the food. What is the aim or the purpose or the objective of this experiment? Is to understand the relation between mechanical and chemical. What is the variable factor, the difference between the two tubes? Is the size of the meat. Here it was large and here it was minced or small. So the size of the piece of meat. Analysis. After adding gastric juice to tube 1 containing large piece of meat and to tube 2 containing minced meat, 37 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. What happened? The large piece it becomes smaller while the small pieces they disappear. So they ask you if you wait 2 more hours, what will happen? In the first tube, it will disappear completely. Also, in the tube number 2, nothing will change since it's already digested. So you have to pay attention, review the notes, to practice on drawing the graph and drawing the table of condition. Be ready for the exam. Thank you. Bye bye.